The Basilica of San Vitale is a church in Ravenna, Italy, and one of the most important examples of early Christian Byzantine art and architecture in Europe. The building is styled an ecclesiastical basilica in the Roman Catholic Church, though it is not of architectural basilica form. It is one of 8 Ravenna structures inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List. History. The church was begun by Bishop Ecclesius in 526, when Ravenna was under the rule of the Ostrogoths, and completed by the 27th Bishop of Ravenna, Maximian, in 547, preceding the Byzantine Exarchate of Ravenna. The architect of the church is unknown. The construction of the church was sponsored by a Greek banker, Julius Argentarius, of whom very little is known, except that he also sponsored the construction of the Basilica of Sant Apollinare in Classe at around the same time. The final cost amounted to 26,000 solida. The central vault used a Western technique of hollow tubes inserted into each other, rather than bricks. The ambulatory and gallery were vaulted only later in the Middle Ages. The Baroque fresco on the dome was made between 1778 and 1782 by S. Barozzi, Gandolfi and E. Guarana. Architecture. The church has an octagonal plan. The building combines Roman elements, the dome, shape of doorways, and stepped towers, with Byzantine elements, polygonal apse, capitals, and narrow bricks. The church is most famous for its wealth of Byzantine mosaics, the largest and best preserved outside of Constantinople. The church is of extreme importance in Byzantine art, as it is the only major church from the period of the Emperor Justinian I to survive virtually intact to the present day. Furthermore, it is thought to reflect the design of the Byzantine imperial palace audience chamber, of which nothing at all survives. The bell tower has 4 bells. The tenor one dates to the 16th century. According to legend, the church was erected on the site of the martyrdom of St. Vitalis. However, there is some confusion as to whether this is the Saint Vitalis of Milan, or the Saint Vitale whose body was discovered together with that of Saint Agricola, by Saint Ambrose in Bologna in 393. Mosaic art. The central section is surrounded by 2 superposed ambulatories. The upper one, the matrimonium, was reserved for married women. A series of mosaics in the lunettes above the triforia depict sacrifices from the Old Testament. The story of Abraham and Melchizedek, and the sacrifice of Isaac, the story of Moses and the burning bush, Jeremiah and Isaiah, representatives of the 12 tribes of Israel, and the story of Abel and Cain. A pair of angels, holding a medallion with a cross, crowns each lunette. On the side walls, the corners, next to the mullioned windows, have mosaics of the 4 evangelists, under their symbols, and dressed in white. Especially the portrayal of the lion is remarkable in its ferocity. The cross-ribbed vault in the presbytery is richly ornamented with mosaic festoons of leaves, fruit and flowers, converging on a crown encircling the Lamb of God. The crown is supported by 4 angels, and every surface is covered with a profusion of flowers, stars, birds and animals, including many peacocks. Above the arch, on both sides, 2 angels hold the disc, and beside them a representation of the cities of Jerusalem and Bethlehem. They symbolize the human race. All these mosaics are executed in the Hellenistic Roman tradition, lively and imaginative, with rich colors and a certain perspective, and with a vivid depiction of the landscape, plants and birds. They were finished when Ravenna was still under Gothic rule. The apse is flanked by 2 chapels, the prothesis and the diaconicon, typical for Byzantine architecture. Inside, the introdos of the great triumphal arch is decorated with 15 mosaic medallions, depicting Jesus Christ, the 12 apostles and Saint Gervasius and Saint Protasius, the sons of Saint Vitale. The Theophany was begun in 525 under Bishop Ecclesius. It has a great gold fascia with twining flowers, birds, and horns of plenty. Jesus Christ appears, seated on a blue globe in the summit of the vault, robed in purple, with his right hand offering the martyr's crown to Saint Vitale. On the left, Bishop Ecclesius offers a model of the church. Justinian and Theodora panels at the foot of the apse side walls are two famous mosaic panels, executed in 547. On the right is a mosaic depicting the East Roman Emperor Justinian I, clad in Tyrian purple with a golden halo, standing next to court officials, Bishop Maximian, Palatini guards and deacons. The halo around his head gives him the same aspect as Christ in the dome of the apse. Justinian himself stands in the middle, with soldiers on his right and clergy on his left, emphasizing that Justinian is the leader of both church and state of his empire. The gold background of the mosaic shows that Justinian and his entourage are inside the church. The figures are placed in a V shape. Justinian is placed in the front and in the middle to show his importance, with Bishop Maximian on his left and lesser individuals being placed behind them. This placement can be seen through the overlapping feet of the individuals present in the mosaic. Another panel shows Empress Theodora Solomon formal, with golden halo, crown and jewels, and a train of court ladies. She is almost depicted as a goddess, as opposed to the V formation of the figures in the Justinian mosaic. The mosaic with Empress Theodora shows the figures moving from left to right into the church. Theodora is seen holding the wine.